Welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm dear darling. As should we see what's going on our lovely island of Fawnhallow today, where, celebrations. We've started with year 5. Isn't that very exciting? I do want to start with an apology, of course, the thumbnail art. As you could probably tell by whatever, I don't even know what placeholder thumbnail art I'm going to be using here. It's not finished. I apologize for that. I wish it was. Again, this one was very much more my fault, whereas it's like I just started it way too late because I did not realize how soon the anniversary, I suppose, of Animal Crossing was coming up. So that's on me. But hello everyone. Right now in Fawnhallow at 6:07 p.m. on Monday, March 25th, 2024. I don't know when exactly I'll finish it, but using last year as a sort of a goalpost, a sort of judgment point, I assume I will finish it in by the 1st of April. So I suppose you'll have the fun times again with these very silly thumbnail arts, or not silly, I don't know, as the case may be. I don't exactly know what I'm going to be doing. But yes, and now we're sort of looking forward to year 5. I forgot that it's in this episode is when I'm meant to be talking about future plans of the channel, and then in the previous episodes when I was meant to be reviewing like what we've done in the channel thus far. So, you know, whoops, I just kind of like got it backwards. My bad. I mean, it's not really that big a deal. I don't think people care that much, but so I guess we'll do another sort of bite-size bit for both. Because I think in the last video I talked about like some of my plans of like starting streaming, I suppose, and that's still true. That's still going ahead. And I think I'm trying to think what else I mentioned. I think those are as a main thing is like starting streaming. I don't really have any other major plans of the channel. I do want like a sort of rebrand, not rebranding as in like I'm not going to be called Dear Darling anymore or anything like that, but more like updating all the art regarding the channel, that sort of thing. I think it would be cool to get something more active going in the server, but I don't really know what. And again, the biggest issue is not really so much, I mean, ideas are sort of like a dime a dozen. The issue was basically sort of like I don't have the time to run these sort of things in the first place. And I suppose at the same time, maybe there's not that much of a demand for it because there's not that large a community in the Discord server. Not saying that there aren't people in the Discord server, and I'm not appreciative of it. I'm very appreciative of anyone who joins the Discord server. But it's at the same sort of time where it's just like, I don't know. Like maybe that's a something which is like, oh, have community output, you know. I mean, I guess this is kind of like how communities are run, is sort of like rather than just, you know, the creator does literally everything, sometimes the community themselves can do things. I don't really know, but that's, again, I feel like maybe there should be more people for that sort of thing, because, you know, it's once you get to a stage where casual conversation is actually like happening on a regular, I think it's probably when that seems, to me at least, it makes sense for like that's an active enough thing where like events can be organized or something like that. But in the meantime, I think like that's me sort of like barking up the wrong tree, where really I should be focusing on like content wise, I suppose, what more interesting things can I be doing or have I wanted to do and actually start doing. I think I actually spoke about this in last year's thing, and amusingly it's been a whole year and nothing's been made about progress, but I wanted to start up some other channels and things like that. It's not really starting up other channels, it's more pursuing other hobbies as well, but I also like uploading these sort of things, because if you don't know, I have a YouTube channel. Obviously, I play my video games, I upload videos and that sort of thing. Very much born out of the idea of me wanting to play games and me wanting to kind of make videos and sort of see where it goes on there. And yeah, I also have like an art channel, which, you know, I tend to keep them separated because I try to keep like all the hobbies I'm interested in like in their own unique pathways. And part of the reason is because I don't think necessarily the overlap is all entirely there. I kind of want people to consume the things I create because of the creation, not because of me necessarily. It's sort of like I have this weird detachment of who I am from, you know, deaf to the author, I suppose, of these sort of things. So from my videos, I want you to watch it because they're amusing or entertaining, which I guess is kind of the most intertwined with who I am as a person. So that's kind of like it's difficult, but it's probably more obvious of art, where it's just like, okay, I want people to follow like my art socials if they like my art. I don't want them to follow because I'm the one behind it, you know, that sort of thing necessarily. But I said it in the previous things. There's two other things I wanted to start doing. One being uploading like my creative writing to the internet, which I have just honestly not done because I've just, it was twofold things. One, I just kind of forgot about it, to be honest, and two, it's the hardest part is setting it up. And I guess nowadays we're not doing as much of a writing group, mainly because I think D&D's kind of replaced it for now. That's not to say I'm not going to do creative writing and I'm not going to try and revive a writing group eventually. It's just like, it's difficult, you know, as I say, trying to find a balance of everything, of how I want to do things. As much as I would love to be a robot who just endlessly works at the things I want to do, I'm not, you know, I still like recreational time and that sort of thing. But my priority always goes to this channel first, and then it goes to the other things afterwards. The other thing I wanted to do is I wanted to start up like a music channel, to start like doing musical stuff. And the thing is, you know, it's not going to be great. I mean, the start of this channel wasn't particularly great, so I don't know why I'm like preempting that, because I'm not a singer or anything like that. I do have like some musical theory knowledge and background, certainly, but like not really that much of a performative aspect. But then, you know, again, I wasn't really that much of an artist when I started drawing, and I wasn't really that much of a content creator when I started recording videos, and I wasn't really that much of a writer when I started creative writing. So it's the sort of thing where it's like, I might as well do it, because, you know, the driving force behind it is I want to do it. So I wanted to do those at some point, you know. When will it happen? I don't know. At some point, question mark. And you might be like, how am I ever going to find out what these channels are if I actually want to see the stuff? And I'm like, I don't know, investigate. No, I'm joking. I mean, if you really are, I suppose, that curious, you can just message me like on Discord or something, and I will, like, people have messaged me before and I have given them links and that sort of thing, but only for the most, because again, I want you to like it, not because of it's me, not because it's like, oh, it's Dear Darling writing this story. It's like, oh, because I'm interested in whatever the story is, which you might be like, hey, that's kind of like shooting yourself in the foot for discoverability. And to a certain degree, you know, I mean, that's just true. It's not even to a certain degree, that's just straight up true. And maybe my mind will change about in the future, but as of now, that's how it's starting. And then maybe, like, I think in the future, like, once it's been going for a while, maybe I'll just be like, okay, let's connect them all together now or something, and like some Dear Darling multiverse. What else did I want to do? I wanted to make a Vici model. Again, that's just like gonna take forever, to be perfectly honest, because it's kind of hard. It's basically, I need like more free weekends, but like all the weekends I've had really recently have been busy, or I've been doing something, or if I don't have something, it's been me catching up on stuff I needed to do. So yeah, and of course then D&D is now taking a chunk of my time, which again is not meant to be a slight at D&D. I think it's really fun, to be perfectly honest, and I'm starting to get into the groove of a right level of preparation, because I think, to be honest, when I started these early sessions, I started like over preparing, but now as I'm getting into it, I'm just like, okay, you know, not everything needs like artwork or something. Like, I don't need to give an artwork for every single NPC. The players can use their own imaginations. They can have their own images of what the people look like, and you know, it doesn't really matter in that sense, as long as I have these sort of overarching things. And as it turns out, I'm pretty decent at improvising anyway, so it's okay to improvise as long as I got the sort of story beats of what is meant to be happening. And I also think we're starting to now get into the part of session where it's like, get into the groove of a campaign where it's getting become pretty difficult to actually prepare things in the first place, because now it's sort of like, the first few sessions were very much sort of like, here's a very direct thing, I'm giving you a very obvious like thing to, you know, like carrot on a stick to go for, like this is a very obvious, ooh, shiny MacGuffin, chase after that. But now it's sort of like, now I've laid down the plots of the seeds of what's going to happen, you know, what order do they grow in, I don't know, it kind of depends what the players want to end up chasing. So I think that's interesting in its own right. So it's sort of finding that balance. So I'm pretty sure the work on D&D is actually amusingly going to decrease as time goes on, as you know, once, you know, a lot of initial setup has been happening, and to now I think the players are starting to take it more into their own hands and that sort of thing, which is awesome, to be perfectly honest. Now it's very much like me being like, here's a storybook, here's a scene, what are you doing? And they will start to now sort of take the lead on what they're doing, which is cool. So yeah, I think the time and effort they'll be put into that will certainly decrease as time goes on, hopefully. I said maybe that's like famous last words. Future series, that's a thing I did not cover, I think, in yesterday's episode. So we can have a look at some series which I'm interested in doing. Like, hold on, let me just look at my Steam library. I don't know what I've got written down for next. I don't actually have many things written down for next. Okay, but we can see in the waiting list, what do I think is going to be next? I think what's going to follow on from Okami, which is going to be ages away. It might even follow on from Talos Principle 2 instead, but is Cocoon. I should put this down. I think it's probably going to follow on from Okami. Because I don't think I'm going to 100% Okami. And Cocoon seems like a really cool game. So that's probably going to happen. I don't know what's going to follow on from Talos Principle 2. Currently I have Gris written down, but I'm not sure if that's going to stay. I think it might be, I don't know if I want it to be Braid. I think I need something more low-key as my, Wait a minute. Sorry about that little bit of a pause. I actually just got kind of confused reading my Steam library for a second there. But yeah, okay, so what was I going to say? Okay, yeah, so we're at 3 series. Currently we've got Paradise Killer, Talos Prince, Woe Kami. What's following on from Paradise Killer? I think it's probably going to be Slaver Princess. Like, I have Sucker for Love written down, but I think that will probably be a stream game maybe instead. Like, some of these games I have on the waiting list feel like they should be, like, stream games. Like, Endling, Extinction Forever, that feels like it could be a stream game. So does Sucker for Love. I don't know necessarily how long it is, things like that. I don't know. But it seems silly enough that, you know, it feels more fitting, I suppose, for stream, because I feel like having a live audience reacting, being like, what the heck is going on, is more appropriate for the sort of silly games than necessarily the much more serious ones, which have a sort of like veneer of, I don't know, veneer of not authenticity, that's like the wrong word, but a veneer of like grandioseness, like that's not really right. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. Anyway. I don't know what's going to fit out of my Talos Principle 2. I have Gris written down. I don't think it's going to be Gris. Well, it might be. I don't know. Because Gris is meant to be a low... Not as puzzly, but it's much more atmospheric, right? So that might be a good sort of way to calm down after Talos Principle 2, which is going to be very intensely sort of philosophical and puzzle-based, isn't it? Not really sure. So those are the series which I'm planning to come up at some point. I do have some games which have been sent in to me, or one of them was by a fan who made a game. And again, I apologize once again for the fact that it's been like 2 years I think since you asked me about it, and I just haven't played it yet because I was going to say that I want to stream. So okay, this is the thing I want to happen. I want to stream. Can I even wait? I don't even know if I can stream this weekend. I just thought about it. I might be busy this weekend. Or I might not be. I genuinely don't know. Okay, let me look. It's possible. Oh, Sunday's Easter. Okay. Okay, well, I will try and do at least a sort of preliminary stream this weekend. I don't think it's going to be anything crazy. I'm not going to, like, start any new games. It's going to be, like, a session 0, I suppose. Because it's going to be... I don't know, it's not going to be April, isn't it? Okay, definitely first week of April, I'm going to have one stream there, if I can, at some point. And I guess the March one will just be it'll be like a preliminary one. It'll be like a warm-up one, because I don't know how long things take. I don't know what's going on. I just want to try it, I suppose, is the end of the day. I don't know what game will be a good thing to play there. Maybe then I'll just play something like Kindling, or I play something like Binding of Isaac. Rivals of Aether could be an interesting one. I'm not very good at Rivals of Aether, though, so... Actually, that's a very interesting idea, fighting games as a sort of game to play. Or what other sort of like... I thought like roguelites would be a really good one. Or something like that. I don't really know, to be honest. We'll see. So, I suppose if I'm available this weekend, I will try and do the first stream this weekend. We'll sort of see how it goes. You might be like, where are you streaming? It will probably be on Twitch, under the name Dear Darling as well. If you're in my Discord, I will post a link and that sort of thing, and be like, hey, the stream will be happening this Saturday or this Sunday. I don't really know, whatever time, and you can tune in. And I might try it, like, because obviously I'm not particularly bound to having to stream on Twitch or YouTube. I might try both for a little bit. I don't really know which one is better. Twitch, I feel like, is a bit easier to get discovered though, because YouTube live streams a little bit harder, I think. But again, a lot more of my audience is on YouTube, seeing as I have no audience on Twitch. But, you know, it could be a nice way to sort of build up both, I think, at the same time, isn't it? What else plans for this year? Or reflections on the year gone by? YouTube thumbnail? I mean, you'll see that. I'll probably give you, like, a teaser of a thumbnail. Again, it's actually, like, really not that done, to be honest, thus far. Like, I've only just started, like, the line art yesterday. I could have done more of it, but I was actually just genuinely too tired, so I didn't really. Because, again, I was busy yesterday. You know, I was doing stuff for most of the day. And then I was like, okay, I need to get some D&D stuff ready. And I was like, okay, well, it's not too bad. I don't know. I am kind of excited for the concept of live streaming. I don't know how it's going to go. I hope I enjoy it. Is basically the long and short of it, because then I'll do it more, and maybe other people will like start joining in, that sort of thing. It, because it's cool to see. I think people recurring through the comments who I recognise and that sort of thing. And if I start seeing people recurring through live streams and whatnot as well, it would be like, oh, that'd be like really nice as well. I don't know. Like if a VTuber model was a thing I wanted to do just for like my own personal sort of project thing, I really shouldn't have tied with live streaming to that concept in the first place, because I knew myself it would take me so long to get this VTuber model done, because it's a really difficult thing for one, and two, it's like so much time investment. I don't really know. What other sort of games am I looking to play in the future, I suppose, possible future series in YouTube? Let me see. What is very likely, I think, to be played this year? I think Little Gator Game is likely to be played this year. I don't really know when. Melon Journey as well. I think that's a decent chance of being played. I think Rain World also has a decent chance. I've heard so much about Rain World and how unbelievably difficult it is, which is crazy. It's also, I feel like, been out for like a decade or something. I feel like it's been out for ages, but I'm interested in playing that. Superland also seems kind of cool. I think Imposter Factory. I think these are all games which are possible. I don't know, again, what order they might be played in necessarily, but that you'll have to wait and see. So I don't know. Here we go, starting off year 5. I can't believe I'm saying like year 5 of Animal Crossing. Genuinely, I thought I would only be recording for about a year or so. And it was very much with a sort of a laissez-faire attitude of, let's just see how long it happens. And then, eventually I will drop out the Animal Crossing series and start replacing it with other things, because, when commentary comes along. But then I just kept doing it because it was like a solid sort of nice routine thing to do. It helped me like talk about things in general. It's like nice to get conversation going and that sort of thing. And it's, help my improv skills, I guess. And honestly, it's just like a really relaxing time. It's like a very centering time. Like after you might have a busy day, you're like, oh, bring it back to Animal Crossing. Just let all the train of thought go. And then that's just how it goes. So very much I did not expect it to go into year 5. And now, I'm actually like starting year 5 with a sort of concept of being like, oh, we need to start thinking about like year 6 and year 7. And that's why I was like, that's why I've got like a whole thumbnail thing. I mean, that's why the first thumbnail was just like a normal thumbnail. The second one was being like, oh, this will probably be the final thumbnail. I just draw it with all the different villager types about the year. And then the third one will be like, okay, now I need to somehow one up that. And then it's like, okay, then it came to year 4. It's like, okay, it seems like we're in it for the long haul. Let's like change our perspective. In year 5, it's like, okay, now we've solidified the change in perspective. That's how it's going to be. Wow, we have 300 views on Deceptive Difficulty. And even more so now, but Animal Crossing, as I said randomly, is my most popular series, I think, now, which is so weird. Like, who's tuning in at day, like, 1,400 being like, yes, I'm going to watch this Animal Crossing series, I'm here. And honestly, that's the exact point of it, is that you're meant to just be able to drop in at any point. Like, we have a completely disconnect, like, after the first, like, half a year or so, but basically completely disconnected from each other. It doesn't matter, like, which episode you drop in on. You just sort of be like, oh, this seems like a topic which is interesting to me. Let's see what Dear Darling Talk says about it. And there you go. Like, I remember one I did ages ago about speed stacks and that sort of thing. And, like, I just randomly started talking about it. And some random person just, like, jumped in and be like, yeah, I'm from a speed stacking community. And seeing you talk about it, it's like, yeah, I was so excited. I had to watch this video. And I was like, whoa, that's crazy. That's exactly what the point is. Anyway, I've not been. I think another thing I want to do live streaming for is because I think I want to like slightly ease up on how many of the comments I end up replying to, because it's difficult to basically reply to comments like every single month. Like, obviously if I see like a really cool comment, I'll give it a heart and I'll reply if there's like a question or something. But I think I always kind of knew that replying to every single comment, on every single video, was kind of unsustainable forever. So it's sort of like a thing where it's like, you gotta choose your priorities, What would people rather have? Would people rather have a live stream? Would people rather have me responding to comments? I know that's not like a equal trade. You can have both, but it's also like, for my own sort of mental well-being of like trying to figure out how to time everything in life. You can only do so much. So I think having like open channel that way, because that's kind of like what the Discord server was for. It was because someone wanted to like send me a message or image initially, and I was like, oh yeah, I guess there's no way that you can actually do that. Okay, let's And I was like, okay. I mean, they gave me their Discord actually at that point, which is pretty crazy. And I was like, okay, let's make a Discord server. So then if you want to, you can share something there. And it's nice to see like a core audience there, I suppose, of people's names who I recognize on there. I apologize if you sent me like a private Discord message and I like basically didn't really reply to it. It's difficult to really do so. I probably give you very sort of like not generic things. Like obviously I mean the things you say. You might be like, how are you doing? And I'm like, oh, how are you? That sort of thing. Thank you for the support, etc., etc. I do mean those. Like I don't mean to make it sound like I don't. It's just like it's difficult to keep up with replying. So I apologize about that. Yeah, but I don't know. That's about it. Live streams. I think just having that sort of live channel as a back and forth, you know, it's like a better way to have this audience participation for viewers of a channel to actually sort of interact, because comments again are slow paced and I'm pretty slow at replying with Discord messages in first place, because I guess that's kind of like what I use as a personal chatting channel. So using it as like, not that Dear Darling is like a business or something, but it's definitely something different from my own personal life. It makes it feel a bit sort of muddied, I think, in that sense. So I think Twitch might be a nice, or live stream chats might be a nice sort of change of pace of that. Anyway, Year 5, I'm excited for it. I'm going to have to think of a new description for Year 5, don't I? I will. We'll cross that bridge when it comes to it. But for now, if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been Dear Darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares, greatly appreciated. Socials, Discord down below. Hope to see each other again, but for now, it's our farewell. So until next time, onwards to Year... wait. Onwards to Year 5, and bye-bye for now.